Hi guys, Nate the Otter Outdoorsman here. Continuing into a series I'm doing of how to start a fire with flint and steel. The next topic we'll want to talk about is a tinder bundle. Now, unlike tinder bundles that you just strike with a lighter or a ferro rod, this one generally wants to have some different properties to it. Generally, we call it a bird's nest. So, normally speaking, the base of it is either going to be some form of bark or it's going to be grass. I generally switch between grass and birch bark. Depends on the property of the birch bark. Often what I do is I'll make kind of like a bowl with it and I'll sometimes line it with grass to add to the air. But in cases like this, I'm just going to use some grasses. Often what you can also do is then use the grass as kind of a base and also kind of acts as kind of a flash tinder to catch the flame that's going to be created and to pretty much spread it throughout the tinder bundle. Now, underneath, for the next layer, usually you want to use some form of bark, or you'll want to use, often bark is usually one of the better ones to use, something like cottonwood or birch. I haven't used cottonwood myself, it's not in my area, but one that I like to use is often something like yellow birch bark or white birch if I can get my hands on it. And pretty much you kind of just want to process it down. In cases like this, it really depends on the birch, depends on how you're going to process it down, but you want to get it as fluffy as possible. And then kind of want to work on building up your bird's nest. Now, some other tinders depends on what you have available. You can also use, as I said, you can use cottonwood, you can use cedar if you've processed it down. Cedar I find is really good. There's one other material though I've found that I really do like, which if I'm trying to go all natural I won't use, but if I can I will use or if I'm in a pinch and I don't have the proper material for it, what I will do is I will use jute twine, which I find is a fantastic base for a flint and steel fire, which I may end up using today just for the fact that I don't have a superior type of thing for it. But pretty much what you want to do is you want it to have as much surface area as possible because that is very important. So when you put your ember into the bird's nest, it catches onto that fluffiness. Now, I have failed with flint and steel fires plenty of times, but I've also had plenty of successes after those failures. And one thing I've always learned is proper preparation leads to proper performance. And especially with something as delicate as an ember, preparing your bird's nest is very important. Especially if you have a lot of the bigger chunks, you want to move those towards the outer edge. You want to have a lot of the fluffier stuff in the center. I'm going to probably try and not use jute twine for this. As I said, I have used it in a pinch, and I actually do keep some of it. I keep actually a large roll of jute in my fire kit for the sheer fact that it's very multifunctional. I can use it to tie things, I can use it to, and I can also use it, again, for fire, which is something I like about it. But if you notice that as I'm doing this, what I'm kind of doing is I'm creating a area in which I'm going to put it. And I normally, what I'll do is I'll keep some of the grass down here clear, and what I'll do is I'll put the bird's nest area up here. This is unfortunately the amount of grass I currently have on me. It's good to have a lot more grass usually, because what that will do is that will give you a bigger container, but I have a tendency of going minimalistic on it. Some other natural materials you can use, though some don't like using it, are things like cattail fluff, or in this case milkweed fluff. And what you can kind of do is just place it into there, and pretty much what we got here is a three-tier tinder setup. This is something I like. Now, what you have is you have the grass, or you have the base. So it's a flammable base that you can hold your tinder bundle with. That's good for sticking it under the fire and holding up to your face. Then you have a kind of accelerant, or a flame holder. That's why I like birch bark. It's in my area. I love it. This stuff will catch a flame easily, and it will hold the flame. That is ideal for a tinder bundle, because my personal opinion, you want your tinder bundle to burn for at least 2 minutes if you can. Though I have gone away with not a flint and steel fire, but a ferro rod fire. It was just a folded over piece of birch with a piece of fluff in there, and I just used that. But a good one for especially in adverse conditions, or if you only have a limited amount of supplies, you want it to burn for about 2 minutes. That is kind of gives you a little bit of security to the fact that if your fire burns down, you know, you still have that massive fireball holding it. Then you have the fluffy material that is meant to kind of catch from your charred material, or your ember, basically. In this case, I'm using cattail fluff. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm pretty much just using it as a way of putting an ember into here. And what's going to end up happening is that's going to hopefully continue to build the ember, and then once that ember kind of gets hot enough, it'll either catch the grass or the birch bark and burn. Sometimes these go by fast, sometimes they don't. But this is a decent tinder bundle, and in the next video I'll show you guys how to light a fire with flint and steel.